Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is scheduled for one fall, and it's for the JCW Tag Team Championship. Making their way to the ring first, at a time combined weight of 477 pounds, Ace Darling and Striker.
And we're getting set for more championship action here at Jersey Championship Wrestling's Rebirth. We're kicking off a new year of 2004, and we're kicking off a new era in JCW, the best wrestling action possible from Jersey and beyond, right here in Garfield on this occasion. And we see two guys who've been in JCW individually combining their efforts for the first time here in Garfield, Judas.
These guys are former ECWA Tag Team Champions. They work very well as a pair. They're very, very arrogant, very confident in themselves. Ace Darling being the veteran of the two, but Matt Striker being one heck of a rookie the last year or two, and definitely coming to his own. We're looking at a good match here.
Ace Darling, a former heavyweight champion here in JCW. Him and Striker have history against each other for that championship, but now combining their efforts, mutual respect for Striker and Darling as they bring their tremendous tag team that they had formed in the ECWA here to Jersey. And here come perhaps the greatest new sensation over the past few months, over the past year, that we've seen in this area in a long, long time. A team of two guys who have certainly made their mark individually here in the Garden State.
That's right, I'll tell you what, these guys are both great individual wrestlers, but when they combine their efforts as a pair, they're really a team that's gonna go really far in this business.
And you're looking at Brian Wenzel, no stranger to tag team action. Inferno, himself a former JCW heavyweight champion. And it was at our first ever Crazy 8's tag team tournament that you can check out at smartmarkvideo.com that Inferno and Wenzel teamed for the first time in JCW. Not only teaming, not only winning the Crazy 8's tournament, but in the process, winning the tag team championships on their first night as a team here in this company. And referee Gary Morer in the ring, assigned to this oh-so-important contest. And this should certainly represent the old adage of wrestling being a game of human chess, if you will.
Here you have the two veterans of the game in the ring, Inferno and Ace. They've had many battles in the ring on the indie circuit, whereas the guys on the apron are the lesser of the two as far as years in the business go.
And don't let the polka dots fool you. Ace Darling, certainly regarded as one of the top competitors in the New Jersey independent wrestling scene and beyond. Truly a young veteran. This guy has seen and done just about everything there is to do in this sport, and he is still getting better and better. As Inferno, a guy who you could also say the same thing about, wrenching in on that arm, nice series of counters, and Ace Darling now on top of this situation.
You know something, Jared? The name on the marquee outside the building is wrestling. And that's exactly what you're gonna see in this match. Good tag team, psychological, scientific mat wrestling.
And as you say, just as you say that, these two guys rip into each other with right hands. Back to the side headlock, though. You're right, it always goes back to the wrestling for true all-around talent. Up and over by Ace Darling. Blind tag, in comes Wenzel. I don't think Darling is aware. And we have a double flapjack by the hybrid.
Hit their mark just as they expected.
Double clothesline, and here comes Striker. Double hip toss. And the champions have everything going their way. Striker into Inferno, up and over and all the way down to our unpadded floor.
You think they're fired up?
I think they're fired up. First ever title defense for Inferno and Wenzel. And as we stated today, this is the biggest crowd in the history of JCW here at the new JCW Arena in Garfield, New Jersey. And Stryker and Darling slow to get back into the swing of things here. Darling still the legal man. And we have a tag, so Stryker will now enter the fray legally for the first time. Stryker, another guy, if you're familiar with Smart Mark Video and all of the tremendous wrestling organizations that Smart Mark offers to you. You've seen Stryker on many occasions, and you've seen many sides to him, but he is definitely at his best here. Look at him just walking over Wenzel, literally.
I'll tell you what, man, he keeps that up. Wenzel's going to take it to him only because if he keeps playing with him, Wenzel's got a real bad attitude. I know it firsthand.
And Wenzel just messing with him like he's a freshman in high school and he's trying to steal his lunch money. Big right forearm. Wenzel sending Stryker with authority and a big back elbow.
That Wenzel's got a lot of aggression built up inside of him. As you could recall, his tag team past, he was always paired up in a tag team called the Moondogs, if you recall. They dominated JCW some years ago, feuded with such greats as the Hit Squad and the Solution. And now Wenzel toning down his style. He still has that pent-up frustration. He's going to take it out in the ring.
And a beautiful pinpoint drop kick by Stryker, who made an opening for himself with a poke to the eyes. The oldest trick in the book, certainly effective. And you have to think that Darling has been schooling the somewhat less experienced Stryker in some of the more subtle ways of taking advantage of the rules. And look at that sit out face plant. 2 count for Wenzel. Wenzel, one of the most explosive powerhouses here in JCW that we've ever seen. Some more double teaming from the champs. There goes Inferno. Catching him with some of the boots, some of the hip. Here comes Wenzel now. Double reversal, triple reversal. And man, that was just a flat out ass to the face, Judas.
It's going to need some Excedrin after that one, buddy.
Big right hands by Inferno. And out of nowhere, Stryker doing what he does best. He struck. Clothesline from the apron, and Inferno finds himself in some trouble. Double whip. Double boot to the midsection, and a synchronized Russian leg sweep from the challenger.
I haven't always been one to follow the rules myself, but they've been in that ring double teaming for quite some time there. Taking advantage of that ref, Gary Moore.
Wenzel coming in to break up the pin attempt. Neck breaker by Matt Stryker. He thought he had it right there. Very arrogant cover, and he paid for it. And Inferno back on his feet, firing back on Stryker. Inferno on the move, and Stryker catching him. Whoa! Innovative backbreaker, dropping Inferno's back right over his own, and Wenzel again in to break up the count. It may not be entirely legal, but the champs have to do anything in their power to keep from losing the richest prize in the tag division. And we're going to see some double teaming here. Stryker says it's over. He's bringing up Inferno, perhaps in the wheelbarrow position. And Inferno with the DDT, beautifully done. That could be a knockout blow. And Ace Darling on top for the cover, and Wenzel again in to break up the pin.
You know, these guys are showing some pretty good offense maneuvers here. Something that may prove to be that they could be some good champions here in JCW.
Well, they've proven they can be great tag team champions out in Delaware, out in the ECWA. But Jersey is a very different place than Delaware. Elbows to the midsection, and Darling shifting his weight, taking him right back down.
You know, I'll tell you what, man, you just can't walk into any Neiman and Marcus store and, you know, purchase a belt. You can't just go into a Saks Fifth Avenue catalog and buy a belt. You got to earn it. You got to put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. And both of these teams right now are doing a damn good job in showing that.
Ace Darling working over Inferno in the corner. Inferno out for much of 2003 with a couple different injuries. Simultaneous surgeries for Inferno. He fought his way back into better shape than ever, and he's shown it as he's reigning as one half of the tag champs. But definitely in trouble now. Backslide, Inferno out of nowhere. 2, and then that's only all he gets. Man, that was out of nowhere. And Ace Darling looking for the clothesline. Inferno missing with one of his own and a double clothesline. Both men out of it in the middle of the ring.
What a series of ducks just to end up prone on the mat as they are now.
It's gut check time. These guys have to reach down deep inside, see what they have left. Whoever makes that first tag may be on the road to victory, championship victory for his team. Ace Darling with the tag, and so does Inferno make the tag. Wenzel cleaning house, clotheslines for both challengers. Sit out, spine buster, and there's a power slam for Ace Darling. Hook of the leg, a 2, and oh, so close.
Kicked out at the last second. So intense Wenzel is. Always compared to a smaller version of Rhino, if you will. Double body style and the just its intense workout.
And just as you say the name Rhino, there's a gore. And Ace Darling at the last second breaking that one up. That could have been a successful title defense. Rights by Inferno, all 4 men in the ring, and it's evident that referee Gary Marrera has lost some control here, but he's going to let things go. Ace Darling out of the way, and Wenzel spearing his own partner.
Looks like some miscommunication there or some sort of.
That could definitely.
That may be the straw that broke, and it might just be the straw that broke that camel's back, literally.
Long blower from Striker. He's got the pin. Striker.
Do you believe it?
And Ace Darling have won the tag team championships.
That would have been the last thing I would have called. I wouldn't have suspected that in a long shot, Jared. Not to discredit the 2 challengers, but I really didn't foresee that coming. I thought that these guys were doing real well as a good tag team, just starting out, and I really wouldn't have suspected that to come so soon.
Well, Judas, it seemed like it was a match that could have certainly gone either way. It was that miscue between Inferno and Wenzel. Wenzel accidentally spearing, accidentally goring his very own partner. And when they look back on this tape tomorrow and they try and figure out what went wrong, what happened to cut their amazing title victory, cut their reign short, the Hybrid are going to look at that moment and realize that that's what did it. We've got new tag team champions in Striker and Ace Darling. But Judas, I don't think we've seen the last of the Hybrid in the tag team division.
Well, I really hope not, man.